It is rightly said that knowledge is power, and with it, men have subdued kingdoms without lifting a sword. The first quarter in human life is regarded as the most delicate phase of human existence, because whatever a man will be, where he will be, and how he will live life is developed therein. Reading is said to develop the mind, and these 19 books are recommended for you before you turn 30. If you're an entrepreneur or an ambitious person, we specially invite you to join our motivational channel, which was designed to give you daily inspirations so that you will have the strength to pursue and achieve your most important dreams. We call this channel Hunt TV, and you can join in the description box. 1. Why You Act the Way You Do. This book was written by Tim LaHaye and published in 1988. It exposes readers to temperaments, the various kinds of temperaments, and how temperaments affect our individual lives. The book is the first on the list because it opens you up to understanding yourself and explains the reason behind your actions, as well as those around you. Even before you turn 20, you should read this book because it has the potential of changing your life and your relationship with other people. 2. The Greatest Salesman in the World. This book by Og Mandino does not tell you how to be a great salesperson. Instead, it gives fantastic and explicit tips on how to think like a successful person, how to motivate yourself, and how to become an exceptional entrepreneur. It's an excellent book for young persons who are in the change process. 3. No Excuse. This book by Brian Tracy is a self-help book that talks about the power of self-discipline. This book, which was published in 2010, sheds light on how to achieve success in 3 significant aspects of your life, namely, your personal goals, your business, and money goals, and of course, your overall happiness. If you have not read this book, you should get a copy and read it as much as you can before you are 30. 4. The Richest Man in Babylon. A book by George S. Clason. It was written in 1926. It exposes vital financial lessons which were gotten 8,000 years ago from Babylon. Every chapter of this book shares practical stories and lessons that are imperative for all, especially young people. The book was published several decades ago, but its lessons are still very essential and profitable for wisdom. 5. Rich Dad, Poor Dad. Robert Kiyosaki wrote this book. It is a personal experience of his life. He recounted his story about his 2 dads, the poor, educated one and the rich, unschooled one. In this book, he emphasizes the need for financial literacy, which in most cases, the educational system will not teach. If you are a young person who wishes to be financially independent, then this book is a must-read for you. 6. The Magic of Thinking Big. In this book, Dr. Schwartz talks about the need to change your thinking and your attitude if you want to change your life. This book is essential for those in the 20s because it prepares your mind and thinking for life's journey that is ahead of you. 7. The Secret. This self-help book written by Rhonda Byrne was first published in the year 2006. It is a book that focuses on the law of attraction and how the universe works with our minds to bring our thoughts into reality. It explains that we can get whatever we want in life, good or bad, through our thoughts. 8. How to Win Friends and Influence People. How to Win Friends and Influence People is a self-help book written by Dale Carnegie, published in 1936. Over 30 million copies have been sold worldwide. It is a book that young people ought to read before they turn 30, and it contains practical steps to communicate and build a tangible network with people from diverse walks of life. 9. When Anger Hurts. This book was written by Matthew McKay, Peter Denny Rogers, and Judith McKay, and was published in 1989. In this book, the over-escalating root cause of anger is discussed, with its effects and how it spoils relationships. This book explains that anger is a choice. It is a two-way book which is not only meant for those with anger issues, but also anyone who desires to have healthy relationships and who wants to help those with anger issues. It also has practical anger journal workbooks attached to every chapter. 10. Between the World and Me. Between the World and Me is a non-fiction book which was written by Ta-Nehisi Coates and published in 2015. It was written based on the realities of being black in the United States. The author wrote the book as a letter about his life to a 15-year-old teenage son. This book is one book to read before 30. It talks about feelings, symbolism, and survival as a black person. 11. The Psychology of Persuasion. The author of this wonderful book, Robert Cialdini, is the expert in the field of influence and persuasion. In this book, he teaches the psychology behind people's affirmative responses and how to apply it. The book is perfect for people in all walks of life, especially young ones, as it gives 6 practical principles that will move you towards positive change and success. 12. Meditations. Meditations is the private thoughts of Roman Emperor Marcus Aurelius, one of the world's most powerful men, advising himself on how to make good on the responsibilities and obligations of his position. It is a book recommended for every young person, as it teaches great morals such as discipline, commitment, persistence, decisiveness, and so on. 13. Don't Sweat the Small Stuff at Work, written by Richard Carlson in the year 1997. This book aims to help individuals to manage little things that create so much pain in their lives. This book will be supportive for every young person who has just started a career, business, or relationship, as it suggests practical steps on how to have a more joyful and peaceful life. 14. The 5 Love Languages. This is an interesting book by Gary Chapman, which talks about relationships, not just between partners, but also between everyone who shares any relationship. Gary Chapman talks about the 5 primary love languages and each of their attributes. He explains further by sharing relatable real-life scenarios of individuals. This book is recommended for everyone, single or married, as it will help sustain your associations. 15. Eat That Frog. This book is a personal development book written by Brian Tracy. In the book, he shares 21 well-detailed guidelines to help you stop procrastinating and get more job done. This book is a powerful book for every young person, especially anyone who feels overwhelmed by so much workload and is confused as to where to start. It is highly recommended that you read this book before you turn 30, as it will help you to become more productive. 16. Think and Grow Rich, a personal development book written by Napoleon Hill and published in the year 1937. This book stands exceptional because of its 13 principles in the form of Achievement's philosophy of achievement. Although the title of this book suggests that it is helpful for financial improvement, this book can be used in any facet of life to do and be anything you imagine. 17. The Millionaire Mind. This book, written by American finance professor Thomas J. Stanley, is insightful. It shares insight into the psychology of millionaires. The author sent out questionnaires to various millionaires and received about 733 responses. Hence, reading this book is just like having a chat with 733 millionaires. This is one book you should read in your early 20s if you want to be wealthy early. 18. The 7 Habits of Highly Effective People. In this book, Stephen Covey explains the 7 habits that are necessary for living a productive life. It is a self-help book on effectual character formation, which was first published in 1987. This book has inspired millions of people, and yet the lessons from it are not outdated. It focuses on timeless principles of fairness, honesty, and human dignity, rather than the usual trend and psychology. 19. The Tipping Point. How Little Things Can Make a Big Difference. The Tipping Point is a wonderful book by Malcolm Gladwell. The book was published initially in the year 2000. In this book, the author reveals the mysterious sociological changes that mark everyday life. He talks about how ideas are like viruses and how fast they spread, and the 3 tipping points of epidemics. This book is a must-read before your 30s because it will aid you to understand the concept of turning your small idea into a big brand. And just before you go, watch other videos on YouTube. If you're an entrepreneur or an ambitious person, we invite you to join our motivational channel. The objective of the channel is to give you daily inspiration so that you will have the strength to pursue and achieve your most important dreams. We call this channel Hunt TV, and you can join in the description box. We love you.